Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another What Sold on eBay video. We are going to look at 50 items that sold this past week on eBay. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. My name is Lonnie, and this is my channel, Garage Flips, and we're going to take a look. First, I do want to mention we did do a show last night. We do a weekly show called the Reseller Six Pack, and last night it was on Steve and Steph Resell Killers channel. I'm going to post a link down below just so you guys can catch it if you want to. It's a really fun show, and I think the last night's show was especially good. So make sure y'all catch that if you have the time. Lots of fun. Really great panel there. So let's get started, guys. This is a pair of Jump Soles plyometric training platforms. These are shoes that you strap on to your existing shoes, and then you do some exercises and whatnot. It's supposed to make you jump higher, run faster, etc. So I got lucky enough to pick these up at Goodwill for $3.99, and I sold them really quickly, within a week, I think, for $69.99 plus shipping on top. I actually picked up 2 pairs of these at the same time. We'll get to the other sale in a minute. This is a Goonies shirt that I sold really cheap, $8 plus shipping. I don't remember what I paid. Probably about $1, maybe $2 if I got it at a thrift store. Not a terrific find. This is a Nintendo 64 cartridge. I paid about $1 or less, and sold it for $10 plus shipping on top. This is a Star Wars Shadows of the Empire Luke Skywalker little action figure guy. I paid $1.20 for this and sold it for $8.99 plus shipping on top. It came as part of a large lot of figurines. I'm getting pretty close to being out of them at this point, so that's good. This is a game that I bought in a lot of video games, and I paid less than $1 for this, and I sold it for $9 plus shipping on top. And it is a PS4 game. Another video game that I got for about $1. And all these games, guys, these are selling, like, most of these games you see here are selling within, a lot of them 24 hours, and typically no more than like 3-4 days at the max. So that's what makes video games so good. This is Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Paid about $1 for this, and I sold it for $15 plus shipping. That's for Super Nintendo. Excuse me. This is a Goodwill find. This is a vintage keyboard, and it has like the really loud mechanical keys. I did put a video demonstrating the keys, but because of the connectivity of the keyboard, it didn't have like, it wasn't USB compatible. So even though I tried these dongles and whatnot to like change, I put one to change it to PS2 because it was an AT keyboard. And then I did another one from PS2 to USB, and it still didn't work just because the inner circuitry of the keyboard wasn't set up. You need to use like a different adapter just for that purpose, so I was not able to test it. So I sold it as is, and I put it up for $80 plus shipping, and I got an offer for $50. I think, yeah, it was $50, I believe. I think he sent me a half price offer, and I countered with $50, and he took it. So that was still a really good sale. I paid, I believe, $2.99 for this at Goodwill. This is the other pair of Jump Soles shoes that I bought at Goodwill, and $3.99 and sold for $69.99 plus shipping. So I have never seen these until then that I know of, but those are definitely good sellers if you ever come across them out there. This is a box of Ed Hardy cologne spray samples. Each one of these things has a little spray tester unit inside of it, and there are 50 inside of the box. I paid $1 for each one of these boxes of 50, and I sold this one for $15 plus shipping on top. I have one more left. I sold 4 of this particular scent already. Super Mario 3, paid about $1 for this one and sold it for $15 plus shipping. I did have this sleeve, this Nintendo sleeve, It doesn't add a ton of value, but it adds a little bit of value. It does make it a little more desirable. So if you have some of these around, you could throw them in with some of your games and it'll make them sell a little faster, or maybe for a little more money. Okay, this is a really good sale. I picked this guitar up for $130 plus shipping. I'm sorry, not plus shipping, plus tax at the local Goodwill. I actually reached out to my buddy Cincinnati Picker and got a little advice from him, and he told me, you know, how to check out condition and whatnot. Still a little nervous on this sale, just because I'm not a guitar guy. I don't really know the condition of guitars. I did the best I could describing it. It had a little bit of wear, like on the fretboard, and then below the pick guard. I'm trying to get these terms correct. But overall, it was in nice condition. It's probably about 35 to 40-year-old guitar. So hopefully the people are happy with it. I haven't checked the tracking lately. I think it should be there probably today or so if it hadn't gotten there already. But I'm all into this one for $143, and I sold it for $398 plus shipping on top. This is a little Sony Jam box that I paid probably $5 for. It's been a while. This has actually been probably a couple of months since I listed this. But it finally sold for $40 plus shipping on top. And I do a full checkout on these whenever I get them in. And they always sell, like not necessarily for huge money, but there's definitely demand for Sony Jam boxes out there. Another video game that I sold for $14.99 plus shipping. This is a space shuttle game for the original NES, and I paid about $1 for the game. And you see it's from 1991, and it's got these cool space shuttle graphics on the front. This is a cheap kid's glove that I picked up. I don't know where I picked this up. I either paid $1 or $1.99 for this glove. One of the two. I can't remember. But I only got $7 plus shipping. Just put it in a poly mailer and sent it out. This is a little old Bible that I picked up for either free, somewhere between free and $1. And I think it was a little bit older edition. It doesn't have the date or anything. It did have some wear to it, which I disclosed, but I sold it for $13.99 plus shipping. And yeah, these do ship out media rate. And look, this one does have a name. I get that question a lot. This one has a name on the front. And yeah, look, it has a little paper thing, probably some kind of dedication of some sort that was ripped off from the inside cover. So, you know, there are often defects with Bibles. You can get around that. If the Bible is somewhat desirable, people will still buy it even with a few defects. Another video game, Battlefield Hardline Deluxe Edition for PS4, sold for $12 plus shipping, paid about $1. Okay, this is a Disc Gear 100 disc selector storage system. You dial in the number across the front, and then you hit the bar, and the thing opens up, and like it hands your disc to you, sort of. And there's also like, look, there's like a little directory thing you push, and this pops out, and this will tell you what disc is in what, you know, what spot there. So it's pretty neat. Also comes with the an album here that holds discs too. I don't know why it has that. And then there's some kind of software that it comes with. I don't know if that's for printing labels or maybe printing the directory out or what. But anyway, I picked this up for $3 at a church sale, and I sold it for $30 plus shipping. So this is actually the second one of these I've ever sold. They're pretty fast sellers. So, I mean, if you see one in nice condition, then pick it up and you'll get about $30 for it. This is a pair of Adidas Samba. I was told they were like indoor soccer shoes. Where did I get these? I think I picked them up at Goodwill. And if I did, then that would have been $3.99 that I paid for them. And I sold them within a couple of days for $29.99. Pretty decent shape. A little bit of wear to them, but they're really cool looking shoes. Okay, this is another glove. Trying to remember what I paid. Somewhere under $5. $5 or less that I paid for this Louisville Slugger TPX Helix glove. And it sold pretty quickly for $29.99 plus shipping. And these kind of gloves, I just put into a padded flat rate envelope. I haven't had any complaints about that yet. So yeah, it'll ship for $7.10. I think the actual label cost to me is $6.90 whenever I go to print them out. But this was a really nice glove and really great condition too. Like you can see, absolutely nothing wrong with the glove. Let me just check on the recording, make sure it's going good. Yep, looks like it's going well. Okay, moving on. All right, this is an interesting buy. I bought this at a church sale for a couple of bucks. And I'd never heard of this before. Maximum Impact Direction Leadership. It's some like personal development or professional development, all about business and stuff by this Dr. John C. Maxwell guy. And yeah, I picked it up for a couple of bucks, and there were no comps for this particular thing. And somebody offered me $50, and I took it. So I got $50 plus shipping for this. So I always pick these kind of things up when I see them out there. This is a remote I bought for $2 and sold it for $8 plus shipping. These are some mechanical timers. They're outlet timers. And you can set use these little, I think you just pull them up or something like that. You set these little stops to turn stuff on and off. And yeah, they have a couple of outlets on them, I think, on this model here. These sell pretty decent, not for huge money. I have probably $2 into these, and I sold them for $17 plus shipping. Here's a X-Men game for Super Nintendo. Paid around $1, sold for $14.99 plus shipping on top. This is an interesting little find. I can't remember, this is a Goodwill pickup. Paid either $2.99 or $3.99 for this. It is used to, it's about like this big, okay? It's used to look at dental x-rays. So they take their pictures, develop them or whatever, and then there's like a clip right here where they put the x-rays and they can view it. And I showed it like being lit up. And then here's a few other pictures of it not lit up. Star x-ray. So it looks like it's a little bit older. But yeah, I actually sold this within a couple of weeks. Picked it up for $3 or $4 and sold it for $35 plus shipping. Okay, a pair of jeans, American Eagle jeans that I picked up for $1, sold for $10 plus shipping on top. This is a good pickup from a week and a half ago at a yard sale. Pre-Sonos audio box. It basically, you can bring in, I believe, XLR. Look, you can bring in some XL. I think that's what that is. No, that's MIDI back there. There's all kind of different inputs and outputs on this thing. I won't pretend to know exactly what's going on with them, but it's kind of like a mixer kind of thing, and then it brings it in and it like digitizes it, I think, to where you can use it on your computer. So yeah, bought it for $10, sold it for $60 plus shipping. Really good shape. I had the box, software, manuals, cables, everything. Everything was in like really good shape. Here's a Super Mario Galaxy for Nintendo Wii. Got it for around $1 and sold it for $10 plus shipping. Okay, this is a Magnavox DTV digital to analog TV converter. I sold quite a few of these, both new and used condition. I bought 2 of these at a yard sale weekend before last, and I've sold 1 of them so far. I paid $3 a piece for these, and I sold this one for $23.99 plus shipping. And for shipping, I just put a label directly on the box. This is certainly not a collectible item or anything, so I felt pretty confident to just go ahead and put the label on this one. I don't typically do that though. All right, this is a hunting and fishing trivia board game. It's actually new sealed. Picked it up at Goodwill, I believe, for $1.99, and sold it within 2 to 3 weeks for $19.99 plus shipping on top. Okay, this is a Elmer's electric stapler, and sold this for $29.99 plus shipping. It did go GSP, so it's going overseas somewhere. This item I think I've had in my inventory for about 2 years now. I paid $5 for this a long time ago at a yard sale, 2 years ago, and I finally sold it. And you know what? After 2 years, it was worth it, because I mean, I got 6x my money before fees, because I got the shipping on top or whatever. So yeah, that was a good sale, and I'm glad. I've been looking at this thing every time I go into my stores, just about, and I am glad to be done with it. This is Street Fighter 2 again. I had 2 copies of the same game. Sold this one for $14.99 plus shipping. That's for Super NES. Paid about $1 for it. Okay, this is a really good pickup here. This is an iPod Touch 5th gen. And it was in really good condition. Like, if you look at the back, a lot of times these things are like really scratched up. There's a few little things here and there, but overall, really nice condition. And you can see that it works fine. The screen's in great condition, and I did put like a screenshot of like the capacity right there, so that shows it's a 32 gig model, and it also shows the model number and stuff, so which is good to do. The only issue with this, it needs a battery. Like, when I took it off of the charger, it would only last, it probably last under normal use probably about 20 minutes, and it'd go dead. So I did put needs battery, and it sold within about 10 minutes for $70 plus shipping. I picked this up at a yard sale last weekend, and they had $8 on it. I asked a few questions about it, and to find out if it was locked or anything like that. And they said they thought it had been factory wiped, but they weren't 100% sure. And the lady offered to just give it to me. And I said, I tell you, I don't want you to give it to me, but I'll give you $1 for it. How about that? And she just wanted to get rid of stuff. It was one of those really good sales where they didn't care how much money they got. They just wanted to get rid of it. So she basically gave this to me, and I sold it the same day for $70 plus shipping. That same day, I picked up this Marco Polo pet monitoring tracking system starter set. So it's got both the locator unit right here, and it's got the collar unit right here. And I don't know exactly how it works, but I do know that they paid a bunch of money for it when they bought it new. They sold this and an extra collar unit to me for $15. So I effectively have $7.50 into this, and it sold really fast. I think same day, if I remember correctly, for $150 plus shipping on top. So that was a really nice sale. Be on the lookout for these Marco Polo units. This is some more cologne samples. This is Rihanna Rebel Fleur. I don't really know that much about it, but each one of these little plastic packs has 12 samples in it, and whoever bought this bought 6 of them. So the sale ended up being $30 plus shipping. So that's a really good sale for some samples. Okay, this is a TI-84 that I picked up at an estate sale, and it had batteries in it that were a little corroded at the time, but otherwise it looked like it was in pretty good condition. I paid $10 for it, and I knew I would get $50 to $60 at least in working condition, but when I went to test it, it did not power up. Like, I got nothing on the screen at all, and I tried. There's a few things you can do with these when they don't power up. You can hold down delete, the delete key, which is, let me look here, because I think this works across several of the calculators. Let's see, yeah, the delete key, 2 to the right of that second key up there. You hold that down, and while holding that down, you remove a battery, wait about 10 seconds, put the battery back in, and then release the delete key, and that's some type of, it's either refreshing the CPU or the memory, one of the two. I can't remember which. Then the other reset is you do the same exact thing using the clear key, which is just below the cursor keys there. There's a clear button. And so I tried those two different resets. Didn't work. I also tried tapping second plus cursor up, which on this model, is a darker contrast thing. And that didn't work either. So made sure I had good batteries. They were good. Finally, I just listed this as is condition, parts of repair. And I paid $10 for it, and I still sold it. Parts are not working for $28 plus shipping. So it's still a decent little profit. I'm still happy with it. So that ended up being okay. Here's a pair of Ann Taylor Loft jeans that I sold for $12.99 plus shipping. I have $1 into those. Here is a WWF Royal Rumble for Super Nintendo. Sold this for $10 plus shipping. Got that for about $1. This is a thrift store pickup. I actually picked this up for $2.99 or $3.99, one of the two. Cool pink color TV from the 80s. Made by Zenith. And I actually hooked up a Sega to this thing. Sega Genesis. And I played it for maybe 15 minutes. And I'm like, okay, this is awesome. It's working. And I walked away. And when I came back, it went from working to the output was one single line, one single horizontal line going across the middle. And I tried a few times, like fiddling with different controls and whatnot. And it was gone. Something in there like blew up or burned out or whatever. So I ended up having to sell it as is condition. And I got $35 plus shipping for it. So, I mean, it's still okay profit, I guess. If you told me for sure it wasn't working, I probably wouldn't have picked it up just because it's kind of a pain to ship. If it would have been working, I think I would have been looking at more around the, $80, 80 to 100, somewhere in there for it, but whatever. I got out from it. That's two examples of things that I picked up that ended up not working that I still made a decent profit on. Okay, here's a Low Pro, a little camera bag. It's about yay big. And I picked these up at yard sales for around $1 or so. And they sell pretty decent. It's not a whole lot of work to list them or anything. And I got $13 plus shipping for this one. Low Pro is a pretty good brand. This is a Harley helmet that I picked up a couple weeks ago. I got 3 helmets for $40. So math, $13 I paid for this helmet about. And I got $60 plus shipping. It actually went GSP, which is not surprising. A lot of the helmets I've sold over the years have gone overseas. Raging Cajuns, University of Louisiana at Lafayette. I think they might just be called University of Louisiana now. Anyway, Raging Cajuns hat, I got $15 plus shipping for this hat, and I think I paid $1 or so, maybe less. This is new with tags. Polaroid I bought this past weekend, paid $2, and I got $20 plus shipping. It went to my friends over at Retrospect, who will refurbish it and sell it as working condition, perfect working condition. And they'll probably sell it for $100 or more, which is cool. But I didn't do a full test on it, but it did have a film cartridge in it, empty film cartridge. So there was no film, but there was a battery. So I slid the film back in. I pulled it out, slid it back in, closed it up, and when I did that with the flash unit opened up, then it started charging, and I actually got a green light on the back. I think there's a little like a charge indicator right there. Red means charging, green means ready to fire. I got that indication. Also, whenever I opened the camera up, I could hear the motor winding. So I told him that, but then I said as is. So I got $20 plus shipping. If you do a full test on that and you say, hey, it's working, then you're going to get probably more like $30 plus shipping from those guys. Okay, this is a Savoy Brown reel-to-reel tape. I paid 50 cents for it, and I got $50 plus shipping on top. I got 25 reel-to-reels this past weekend. And I listed 3 of them, and then I started thinking, you know what? I've got some high dollar ones here. I'm going to test the rest of them out. I have a Sony reel-to-reel machine in my storage that looks to be in pretty good condition. I'm going to see if I can get it up and running and see if I can play some of these things. Because I've got a couple that are worth in excess of $100. I've got one that's probably worth $200 to $300. So it would probably pay me to go ahead and do a full test on these. And yeah, I've got too much money, potential money here, not to. So anyway, I did sell this one untested for $50 plus shipping. Okay, this is a PetSafe wireless collar. I bought a collar that is brand new like this one. And then I also bought the full system, which was open box. Didn't look like it had probably been used, but it was opened. I paid $75 for both of them. I got $95 free ship for this unit, and I still have the other one left to go. So if we just said we could just split the money in half and say I paid $37.50 for this, and I got $95 free ship. All right, this is a Star Wars Star Destroyer. I think I paid like $2 or $3 for this at a yard sale, and I got $12.99 plus shipping on top. Okay, this is a pickup from yesterday. We actually went to a last day of an estate sale, and I saw, whenever you look at tripods, if you see Bogan or Manfrotto on a tripod, then it's pretty good. You might want to take a little closer look. And like this one right here, you can see that 3063. That's the model number. These are made in Italy. I've sold a pretty good many Bogan Manfrotto tripods, and I actually have one myself that I've had for over 10 years now. So pretty good stuff. Excuse me. I paid $10 for this plus the tripod that it was on, and the tripod was kind of crap, so I just threw the tripod away. And I just, salvaged the head off of it, took a few pictures, and sold it for $29 plus ship. And it did have a defect too that I didn't notice when I bought it. I don't know how well you could tell, but there's a piece of plastic broken off of this little clamp thing here. Didn't affect the operation, but I did have to disclose it. So, yeah, pretty good sale there. I bought another tripod the same time that I bought this one, and it's actually a Bogan tripod Manfrotto head that's probably going to get closer to $80. I paid $20 for that one. Okay, I've got 3 of these left. I started with 28 of them. I paid less than 50 cents a piece. So this has been a really good deal for me. Sold this for $12 plus shipping. It's a Harley Owners Group patch and pin set. So the little pin matches the patch. Same exact image. Another pair of Ann Taylor Loft boyfriend jeans. I paid $1 for these, and I got $15 plus shipping on top. This is a Buck Knives fishing spear that I bought like 2 weeks ago for $5, and I sold it for $40 plus shipping. So that was a good little sale. It had been out of the box, but it had obviously never been used. So I kind of did like a new other condition on this, and I had the box and everything. So Buck is a really good brand. This is a pair of Doc Martens. I've been buying and selling quite a few Doc Martens, but this is a pair of Doc Martens that I picked up at a church sale, and I paid $20. I paid up a little bit because they had the tags on them. And so it was good that they were new. I would say that there were a couple of bad things. Like, I don't think the industrial, which these are like steel toe industrial, I don't think the industrial ones do quite as well, unless maybe you have them in a good size. This was not a great size. These were size 7, which basically is going to be a women's size. So these are women's steel toe boots, basically. So they did sell in about a week, though, and I got $60 plus shipping on top for them, so I was happy with it. Last item is Paperboy 2. Paid around $1, and I got $10 plus shipping on top. So, guys, that was 50 items. 50 items that I sold on eBay during the past week. Hopefully y'all learned a few things to pick up or not pick up, whatever the case may be. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, and should be back next week with another one just like it. So take care, guys. Hope y'all have a great week. Bye-bye.